Hello, my name is Orbis and welcome to my ranking of every Beatles opening track ranked from worst to best. Now, this is a very difficult task as the Beatles opening tracks tend to be some of the best songs they ever did, as obviously when you're sequencing an album, you want the album to open with a fairly strong song. So as a result, I think every opening track to every Beatles album is great. There isn't a single one I don't love, including the bottom one. Before I get started, please let me know what your ranking is in the comments. It's quite fun to do, but it is very difficult. I don't think this ranking is particularly important. It doesn't really matter which track's are better than the other, but it's a fun challenge, I suppose. So anyway, let's get started with the ranking.
It won't be long, yeah, yeah.
So at the bottom, I've gone with It Won't Be Long, the opening track to With the Beatles. I do love this song, it's just, when comparing it to all the others, it had to go last. I think it has the least that stands out about it, but I do love it. It's very catchy. For me, it's a song that just kind of lifts my mood when I listen to it, because it's just so fun, so boppy, I guess. And it serves great as an opener, just because it's so energetic and upbeat. So it's a great song, it's just, yeah, compared to the others, it ended up being my least favourite.
So how could I dance without...
So next up, second from the bottom, I've gone with I Saw Her Standing There, the opener to the Beatles' debut album, Please Please Me. Obviously this song's pretty iconic since it's the opening track to their first album. It's very catchy, but it's still going to rank low just because most other Beatles opening tracks are better than this one.
We all live in a yellow submarine.
So next up, I've gone with Yellow Submarine, the opening track of Yellow Submarine. It feels like this shouldn't really count since it's on Revolver. Yellow Submarine always gets counted as an album, so I thought I'd better, because if I don't, I know some people will get mad at me. Yellow Submarine as a song, it is good, but I can't help, I always see it as kind of like a kid's nursery rhyme, kid's song type of thing, which is kind of the purpose. I think it serves its purpose well, and there's a lot of creative sounds to it, and the lyrics are charming. Ringo definitely fits well with the vibe of this song. I don't think it's a very strong song. I think it's probably one of the weaker songs on Revolver. Yeah, even though it ranks low, I do think it's great. There are much better opening tracks, including the one on Revolver.
I saw the light.
Next up, I've gone with No Reply from Beatles for Sale. This one kind of had to grow on me for a bit, because at first I thought the lyrics were a bit too soppy. I actually think that kind of works in its favour, because it makes it stand out a bit compared to other early Beatles songs. Yeah, I just think it's still quite catchy, but it's also got a more sombre mood, which I quite enjoy. It seems like an unusual choice for an opening track because it's so moody, but I think it works pretty well. The way it starts with John's vocals, I think it's really effective. So yeah, No Reply, great song.
Two of us riding nowhere.
Next up, I've gone with Two of Us from Let It Be. This is a wonderful song, kind of acoustic-y, I guess more folk-leaning, with very wholesome lyrics, I think. And I think the Get Back series makes you appreciate this song more just because of how much they play it in that series. I think it's kind of an unusual choice for the opening track. I definitely think Get Back would make more sense, or I don't know, I've got a feeling. I guess I just think opening with an acoustic track doesn't super make sense. I think you want the opening track to be one of the fastest and more heavy songs. Not that Two of Us being the opening track really detracts from the album that much. I just think it's somewhat of an unusual choice, but it's a wonderful song. It's ranking lowish because it has some tough competition. Next up, I've gone with Magical Mystery Tour, the opening track to Magical Mystery Tour. I think this kind of, even Magical Mystery Tour isn't really a proper album, this works really well as an opener just because I guess in a similar way that Sgt. Pepper does, it kind of introduces the concept and encapsulates the whole album / project pretty well. It's silly and I just love how whimsical it is.
It's been a hard day's night.
Next up is A Hard Day's Night, which is just one of the most iconic and greatest songs from the early Beatles era. It kind of had to rank fairly high.
Help, I need somebody.
Next up is Help, the opening track of Help, which is iconic, it's catchy, it's got some great vocal harmonies, and also it's strong lyrically compared to other Beatles songs around that time.
Baby, you can drive my car.
Next up, I've gone with Drive My Car, the opener of Rubber Soul. More great vocal harmonies and really good guitar work. Next up is Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, the opener to the album of the same name. I just think it introduces the concept really well. It's just a very iconic track, and the way it leads into With a Little Help from My Friends is just incredible.
Back in the USSR.
Now we're in the top 3, and for number 3 I've gone with Back in the USSR, the opener to the White Album. I don't really know what to say about it, to be honest. It's just a really great tune.
Come together.
And at number 2 I've gone with Come Together, the opening track to Abbey Road. Probably a year or two ago I would have put this at number 1. It's obviously one of the most iconic Beatles songs of all time. A great guitar slash bass slash drum line, great lyrics from John. It's just really groovy. It's just got a really unique feel and sound to it. It's definitely still a contender for number 1, but it's not. So for number 1 I've gone with Taxman, the opener of Revolver. I love this song beyond words. It's probably the reason that Revolver was my favourite album for so long. It's incredible. And some of the best guitar playing on any Beatles song, which is funny because it's Paul doing the soloing. Yeah, I just think this song is perfect in every way. So yeah, that was my ranking of every Beatles opening track, ranked from worst to best. Let me know what you think of my ranking, whether you hate it or you think it was pretty good. Either way, please let me know what your ranking would be. Like the video if you liked it, and subscribe if you want to see more, etc, etc. So hopefully I'll see you again soon. Goodbye.